What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another installment into the extraordinary life of Emon. I'm your host, and today I got another story for you guys. Man, it has been crazy at work lately, definitely with the hurricane going on and everybody just acting crazy. But before we get into the story, I did just want to say thank you guys for all the support, and if you're out there and you haven't already, please do me the favor, like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave me a wonderful comment down below. That all being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so this one is actually fairly recent. I'm talking hot off the presses. This actually happened like 2 weeks ago and is most likely still being investigated. I believe this all solved and everything, crucial is taken care of, hence why I can talk about it. The story goes like this, the usual stuff, driving around, doing my thing on my patrol route, checking in with my people, checking in with the stores, looking out for people. Knuckleheads is running around because school is back in, so dealing with that, dealing with the local businesses and stuff. We get dispatched to a call. This call was just another check the welfare. As you know, in my previous videos I've said it, we deal with check the welfares all the time. However, this one was significant because the employer had contacted law enforcement in reference to checking on this gentleman because the gentleman in question had missed work. Normally this wouldn't be that significant. However, this person hadn't missed work in over 14 years, so that's definitely need for concern. According to our wonderful complainant, the person is 6'5", he's 400 pounds, he lives alone, he doesn't have any children, no wife, no none of that. So all that says to me is that this man pours a lot into his work. This man is a loner. He's not really prone to travel, stuff like that. What the man did for a living, he was an application developer. So he made a substantial amount of money. He was actually well endowed. He had a very big house. He had a bunch of cars, etc., etc. I specifically asked our complainant to tell me a little bit about the subject. Let me get a feel for him. What does he do? What is his life like? Who does he hang out with? So our complainant was able to tell me that he has 3 cars. He lives alone, doesn't have kids, he doesn't have many friends, he's a loner, just like I thought, and he tends to be a homebody. I said, okay, can you tell me anything unique about him that'll help me verify whether he's okay, whether he's in his house, whether he's around? She said, yes, he has a dog. I said, okay, what kind of dog? It's a little white dog. I said, okay, little white dog, I'll check for little white dog. She specifically told us if this dog is on the premises, he's on the premises. This is one of those situations to where the dog actually goes everywhere that he goes. I said, okay, not a problem. I will definitely check it out. So I'm driving, my usual. I get to the house. When I get to the house, it is massive. I'm talking, this thing is a very, very big house. He's definitely well off. He's well paid. I see 2 cars in the driveway. I don't see a third. It was noted that he has 3 cars. So I'm like, okay, what's going on here? So I run through DMV, the 2 cars that are there. Sure enough, they come back to him. I asked dispatch, hey, run it through again, but also query all the vehicles that he owns, aka everything registered to him will come up. Sure enough, he does own a 3rd vehicle. It's a Mercedes and it's not there. So I said, okay, well, that's the first sign that he might not be here. He might just not be here. But it is odd because the garage is open. Not open, but unlocked. Like if I walked up to it and grabbed the handle, I could just lift it up. So that's a little odd, but that's okay. Some people do that. I close it because I don't know what I got yet. So I'm not gonna go in this man's house. So I go check the front door. The front door is locked. All the curtains are drawn. So I'm like, okay, another sign that he may not be here. Check the mail. A couple days, the mail haven't been picked up. I said, okay, he might be out of town. Remember, his car's gone. His car's not there. So all the while, dispatch is running his DMV stuff. They're tracking down information for me. So I'm like, okay. So I'm walking around the house. It doesn't really appear to be anything out of the norm. The grass is cut. The windows are good. The shingles are good. No broken windows. All the doors appear to be locked. All that wonderful good stuff. So I'm walking. I get to the back. I shine my flashlight. I don't see anything. The back door is locked. So I could sort of see through the back window. So I start flashing my light to see if I can get any kind of visual on what exactly is going on inside of the house. And I see something move. So I'm like, what the? So I'm looking, doing my investigation, and I see something scurry. I say, well, either that's a rat or there's something in there. There's definitely something in there. So I'm like, okay, well, I get another unit to me. Doop, doop, send me some help just in case. You never know. My backup unit gets here. I tell them what's going on, and we're both now looking around at the house. We see that the garage is open. Now we're starting to build like, hey, wait a minute, something something might be going on. Then dispatch gets back to me. Dispatch says, hey, yeah, we have that vehicle. However, it has been stored because it was involved in a crash. Involved in a crash where? This was involved in a crash in the next state over. I'm like, okay, well, is the person in the hospital? We asked dispatch again to see if he's in the hospital, if he's in jail, if any kind of facility or anything like that. So they checked. Nope. None of the databases that we have him in any kind of care, psychiatric, jail, medical, none of that. What is happening here? How did his car get into an accident, but he's not in his car? He has no next of kin. He has no children, no friends, no none of that. So we start asking the neighbors, hey, when's the last time you saw him? So one neighbor actually saw him 3 days prior to that and said that he was with a young man. I said, what kind of young man? He said, well, the kid looked like he was about 18 or 19. I said, this guy is how old? And we checked, guy's 50. Okay. So she's like, no, it clearly wasn't his child because this guy is white and the person he was with was clearly Spanish. I said, all right, who is this person? Let's see if we can track it down. So one of the neighbors actually had ring camera footage from 3 days prior. So I actually got to see who I was looking for. This situation did not look good at this point because at this point, I can't find this guy. I don't know if he's in his house. I know where his vehicle is. However, I don't know what happened to said vehicle. Why was it in a crash? I watched the ring camera footage and it shows literally them talking in the driveway, but then it shows them yelling at one another. I said, okay, we're getting somewhere now. The young man actually gets into a Uber or maybe a taxi service or something and drives away. So I check with Uber, I check with Lyft. They tell me to pound sand because I don't have a search warrant at this point, which is fine. Because currently at the moment, I'm not really investigating anything criminal. I'm just trying to locate this guy, trying to figure out what exactly is going on. All the while, I have my coworker still watching the house and still looking through the windows, and he sees something move too. So he came up to me, he said, hey, something's in there. Something's going on. I said, well, either the guy has rodents or there's something in there. But then it hits me, the little white dog. Now the dog is there. So I call the complaint back and she verifies that if the dog is there, he is there. So I said, okay, well, let's start putting these pieces together and see if we have exigent circumstances to enter the house. And sure enough, we get some of the footage back. We get the tow back. I contact the officer who actually settled the crash. He said a young man was driving a Mercedes. They gave me the name. They gave me everything. I said, well, can you tell me anything else about the situation? He said, yeah, the young man went to jail. I said, what? Why did he go to jail? Well, apparently this wonderful 19-year-old was wanted. He was a gang member and he had outstanding warrants in reference to another incident. I said, so he in jail right now? Yep. So I said, now I believe we do have exigent circumstances because now I believe that this person is inside of the house. He's injured or deceased. We're going in and we go through the garage. So when we get into the garage, we go to the back door. You know, every garage has that, and we try to open the door. Luckily for us, the door wasn't locked. So as soon as we opened the door, the smell hit us. So right off the back, we actually already knew what time it was. We knew that somebody was in here. We walked in, we got our flashlights, we got the guns out, we ready to roll, and we're searching. We see the dog running. So the dog runs up to us. It had red speckles and dots and stuff all over it, as in this dog had some blood on it. We now have pretty much a crime scene. So we let each other know, hey, you know, don't touch nothing. Let's just look around. Let's see what's going on. Make sure the house is secure. We secure the dog. We got the animal police there. We go in, we clear the house. Everything's done. We go upstairs in the bedroom and we locate the gentleman that I was looking for. It looked like signs of a struggle. You know, we had drawers open. We had his closet that looked like things were going through and whatnot like that. So based off preliminary investigation, it was definitely a homicide scene. So we secured it. You know, we got crime scene people to come. We got everybody out there and we started to pick up the pieces a little bit on what happened. So, you know, for me, I'm like, well, I can either transfer this over to the detectives and let them do it, or since I know everything, I might as well just go ahead and take it myself. So I got permission from the Ivy Tower guys and I went to the state next door to make contact with my guy who's in jail. So I went, talked to him, and he told me, yeah, he let me borrow his car and I crashed it and I don't know what happened. He wasn't talking at first, but then I explained to him how I knew that this wasn't right, the argument that they had, the totality of the situation and what exactly he was facing and what exactly we had found at the house, what we found in the car, and the simple fact that now that we know what we're looking for, we're gonna go back to that neighbor and they're gonna give me footage of him taking items from the home, getting in the car and driving away. So he told me the truth. He said, listen, it was a mistake. We got into an argument. All I wanted to do was borrow his car and he would not give me his car, and it escalated from there. I asked all the crucial questions and then I asked him one critical question. Why? What is the point of you hanging out with this subject? Who is this to you? Why are you there with him? And come to find out, it was basically an extortion type of deal. They figured out that this man was alone, that he didn't have anybody looking out for him, and they began to extort him. The gang put pressure on the 19-year-old to put pressure on my guy into extorting him for all that he had, basically money, cars, time, resources, all that wonderful good stuff. They started the process of actually extorting him. Unfortunately, this man lost his life because of this. We recovered the murder weapon. We had that interview taped. We had everything that we needed. But like I said, this one is actually ongoing, so it's still a situation to where we got to go to court and everything, and I'll probably keep you guys updated. If you're interested, let me know down in the comment section and I'll keep you guys updated on this one. But that's it. That's really all I have at the moment in reference to this. This is crazy, but this is what it is. It's a part of the job. It happened, and luckily I was there. Luckily my team was there. Luckily we found the guy, and we're gonna do right by him because we're gonna take that dude to jail. But nevertheless, if you enjoyed the video, do me the favor, like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave me a wonderful comment down below. That all being said, this has been another installment into the extraordinary life of Emon. I've been your host, and I'll see you on the next one.